afternoon. I'm your presenter. My name is Bettina Horster. Let me shortly introduce myself that you all know who is it that presents the session. I'm from Dortmund, not from Bavaria, as you can hear, and my company is the Viva Software AG. I'm in the mobile business since 17 years, so that's also a very, very long time, and so I have seen a lot of things coming, but also a lot of things going. So it's a very dynamic market, the mobile market, and what I've done so far, or what my company does, that you can know a little bit better. We do a lot of consulting in the mobile field, and I've been consulting our government in Berlin for 7 years for mobile strategies, but we are also a software house and we are doing implementation. So we have a little bit, I have a little bit the 360-degree view. But that's not so interesting. I want to make a couple of remarks before we start with our keynote, because we have out, I'm also heading, I'm director for the mobile section of the ECO Association. That's the association that deals with internet. And we have a study which is called Mobile Trends 2013-2014. And according to this study, only 34% of the mobile experts think that mobile marketing is currently one of the leading trends in the mobile business. And they prioritize, for example, mobile office communication with 71%, or M2M, which is machine-to-machine communication, something totally different, with 56%, and ERP, which is basically SAP stuff, with 44%. So these are rated somewhat higher, so that's interesting. And what we also found in this study is, although that smartphones and tablets are a very important part of the business and the private lives, most marketeers are not really able to use these channels effectively. The biggest mistakes mobile marketing is the pure continuation of stationary internet. And that, of course, doesn't work at all. But mobile marketing has its own rules. And for example, advertising emails sent on mobile devices, they are not optimized for mobile displays, and so it's really hard for the users, and they don't like it. Another thing in mobile marketing which to our mind doesn't really work is RFID and NFC. They have started at the big hopes in technology, but it really so far doesn't start a whole new range of application and services. And last point, last example for mobile marketing is the QR codes. So you see them all over the place. There's hardly any chocolate box where you don't find a QR label. But when you ask people whether they use it, the usage is extremely low compared to the awareness that this medium is getting. So these are things that came to my mind when I tried to prepare for this topic. But here we have the total experts, and I would like to introduce you to our keynote speaker, Guillaume Guerrin.
Yes, very well done. Not easy.
I majored in France, but that's a long time ago.
Es ist Wilhelm auf Deutsch. Wilhelm auf Deutsch. In case you ask.
Okay, so.
But she doesn't ask.
So, Guillaume is a business group director at the GfK. Most of them will know it's one of the biggest, how do you say?
Market research company.
Market research, thank you very much. And I think he has a very impressive CV, so I looked through the internet and I found out that you speak 6 languages.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's mobile marketing in Russian?
No, don't ask.
Okay. He started at sharing pharmaceuticals, and then did communication for a football club, and then he worked for Peugeot, and then moved to Dakar, Senegal, and where he worked for Adidas, and then back to the healthcare sector in Moscow, Russia. And
Where did you find that?
Yeah, on the internet.
Don't trust anything.
And now he is located in Poland, in Warsaw.
Yes,
yeah,
correct.
Yeah, good. So he has seen a lot of the world. He's a very international view on the topic, and I'm really curious what you have to tell us.
So in Russian or in English now?
Never Russian.
Здравствуйте. It means hi in Russian. No, I'm very glad to be here today. You picked the right spot, the right panel. I guarantee it will be the best English panel of the day. I don't say that because it's the only one, but I mean it. So mobile, let's see what's happening in the mobile world. It's a huge topic. We heard a lot about that, but let's have a look from a market research perspective, and let's see what we can do in the future in this field to improve our spending, basically, because you are in business, you want to know where to spend your money. So let's start. GfK, you all know what it is. As Bettina mentioned, market research, fourth biggest company worldwide in this field, headquartered in Nuremberg, so bei die Franken, nicht so weit weg. And we have basically two departments at GfK. One is called consumer choices, the other is called consumer experiences. One takes care of the why, the other takes care of the what. But as you know, in mobile field, you need both. You need the why and the what. So mobile, let's have a step back and see what is mobile for us in our life. I'm sure everybody, all of you today have in your bag keys, wallet, and mobile. Does anyone don't have this kind of equipment? I don't have my key, but okay. So why do we have that? Mobile, wallet, and keys, yes, thanks. It all boils down to surviving. We need to survive. That's why we all have that. The keys, it leads to shelter, to roof, protection. The wallet leads to food. Food, also survival condition. And the mobile is a great recovery tool that we need in case of danger. So it all boils down to survival, and also with this kind of device we can transcend time and space. Right now, if you give a call, you can be in Australia or in whatever country you want right now, thanks to your mobile phone. Ubiquity, like God, if you believe in it. This slide I like a lot. That explains why we are addicted to a mobile device. We are addicted because of a brain. It has biological functions. That's your brain, human brain, male or female. And what you see there, that's the representation of our internal organs by your brain. So for your brain, you have a huge face and you have a huge hand. And guess what is all the time in your hand? Mobile phone, because it's in your intimate zone. So that explains why on average, we just shoot our iPhone 150 times a day. That's an average when you have it. It's always in your hand, and when you don't have it in your hand, you feel like a lack. You miss something. You need it. Like a tennis player wouldn't have a racket. It's exactly the same. We spoke about Becker, like Boom Boom Becker without the racket. I mean, that would be the example. Okay, context. Where are we now? A long way since the first call was made in Finland by the Prime Minister in '91. Now we are heading to 2020, 15 billion connected devices. That's the forecast by Sony Ericsson. And of course, it gives a lot of challenges. So that's in a nutshell. I try to put the three biggest challenges and the three biggest trends. I won't go in details because you all know that. It's just to sum up. Smartphone sales are exploding. Mobile internet is now bigger than the fixed internet, and that's not only because of China and India. Many countries leapfrog and go directly to mobile internet. And of course, we see a lack that comes down directly to our topic, a big difference between the time we spend on the mobile and the advertising your companies are spending on mobile. We don't see those differences in other media, TV, print, fixed internet, only in the mobile internet. And we believe at GfK that exists. This gap is here because we can't measure this, what's happening on the mobile internet. And as long as we can't measure it, we can't monetize it. That's our motto. That's the question implied by those facts. So how important is mobile for your customers? And if you invest there, what can you get back? What can you expect? That's the kind of question I will try to answer with a real use case that I prepared just for Munich. When I face clients, all the time I hear, mobile, we have too much data and not enough information. If it's the case for you, for your company, you are in the right room. But let's come back before having the use case and see how we can tackle this issue of monetizing the mobile internet. Let's see how these devices are changing our life. And just to show you that you pick the right room, I'm the only one who can show you how your iPhone will look like in 2 years and in 10 years. Some people woke up now, I feel. So remote control of our life. More and more, we can use devices that we can wear. Bracelet, glasses, and so on. Nike Fuel is a good example. Devices more and more also incorporated into our clothing. What you see here is not the next generation condoms. It's a device integrated directly in your pocket that you can buy. When you go there, in any shop then, or in any cafe, any restaurant, any place, it can log in automatically on Twitter, Foursquare, or Facebook. That's already sold. Another moment everybody has been waiting for. How will your iPhone look like in 2 years? Any ideas in the room? We're a small group, so we can have a... Like a ball, right? Any other ideas? Sorry? Yes, good try. So we give you the big trend, how it will look like. First of all, it will be sensors will be incorporated. That's the new trend. People want to track their health, people want to track behavior, track their wife, husband, kids. That's the big trend. So for sure it will have more and more sensors. Second trend, it will have advanced mood control, which means according to your mood, to your state, to your situation, you will have a direct choice by your device to apply to the kind of music, movies, or content you like. And last but not least, forget about the old device, forget about the screen, more and more touchless interface. You won't need to take your mobile anytime. It will be incorporated. So that's a big trend. So yes, a watch might be one of them. A ball, I don't know how you came to this. Okay, because it's funny, yes. So entertainment included. Yes, why not? So now in 2020, any ideas? Come on, don't let me alone on that. After the ball, what do you propose?
The iPhone will be incorporated in buildings and cars.
Anything else? Yeah, but you saw my presentation, that's unfair. Okay. Yes, exactly, so it will be more and more incorporated. This kind of thing, it will be in our body. Or, even more advanced, it will be directly in our face. As you see, this lady has an antenna incorporated in the hair. She has a nose implant. She has a hub, sensor hub to talk. So it will be fully integrated. So if anybody says that mobile is not the future, look where we are heading for. Unless people resist. But for sure, the mainstream will go into this direction. So now measuring this change, that's a big challenge because that's not easy, and that we come back to the topic. If we can't measure it, we can't monetize it. That's if there is one message you have to remember today, it is one. So we have to track all the devices, not only the mobile phone, but all the devices that are connected, tablets, computer, etc. And also we need to understand the context, because depending on where you are, that has a huge information for the companies. Because most of research show that 90% of people hate advertising on the mobile. But 90% of the people like to get offers. Basically, it's almost the same. The just small difference, but extremely important, is that it should be targeted. If you don't target right on mobile, you will fail. That's the big difference. It's not TV, where you can just show the washing powder or to all the family. It should be targeted. So the key question for you, for your business, is how does this mobile change apply to your business, to your industry? And the question is, what are the implications for this business? I'm not here to say that you have to invest tomorrow everything into mobile. Maybe it's too early, maybe it's too late. I'm not advocating this direction. But you should be aware that there is a huge trend, and you should have the right mix in your channel strategy. Maybe print is good, maybe TV, maybe internet, maybe mobile internet. But you have to be able to measure it. That's why I will show you two solutions on that. And that's called Media Efficiency Panel, the first, and the second is called Mobile Insights. So what is that exactly? So one more graph, you have seen many today. It's quite easy. One gives you the holistic view, the other gives you the deep view. It's like oil. When you're looking for oil, first you have to know where is it. That's Media Efficiency Panel. It will tell you which media channels you have to use to reach the right audience. Do you need TV, print, mobile internet, fixed internet? That's the Media Efficiency Panel. But once you have decided to go for mobile, when you think there is oil, there is something I can dig there, then you have to go for Mobile Insights, because that will give you the right metrics to take the right decisions. So Media Efficiency Panel, we have a sample of people that have downloaded our programs, so we can track exactly what are their behavior on the mobile internet, on the TV, on the smartphone too. Parallel to that, they scan all the products that they're buying, so we can make the link between the commercial they see on their devices and what they buy. That's very important. Now, Mobile Insights. So that was look for oil. When you have found oil, you use Mobile Insights. What is Mobile Insights? It is unique in the sense that in Germany and in UK, we get data from operators. That's the main new feature that we have. And I believe nobody has that in Europe and maybe in the world, which means we partner operators in Germany and we get data. But we don't speak about hundreds or thousands. We speak about millions users that we can track. Of course, everything is anonymized because, as you know, in Germany, the law is very precise on what you can do with data or not. And then, once we get those data, we can combine that with our consumer panels and put that in a shaker, and we get very nice metrics. I will show you a very concrete example in a while. Of course, to get that, because of the privacy issue, we get millions of information from the operators, but they are anonymized. So we have to combine that to our opt-in, to our consumer panels, and of course, all the people that take part to this mobile research are opt-in. We don't play with privacy. This is a very important topic. You don't need to read that through, but just to tell you that the 2 first years of the project, it was just to check the feasibility on the legal issue. So, and after this, we can say that if we can do it in Germany, we can do it anywhere. We are very confident on that. So let's start with MEP. Cheers. So how should I plan my campaign? That would be the question that MEP can tackle. We know already that people are using the device during the journey, when they go from early in the morning till late at night, using all kind of devices. That's why you have to track and to benchmark all those devices. And MEP help you to do that between desktop, mobile, tablets, and TV. That's just an example of the use of those devices throughout the day. Also, we can check what kind of screen are used. Do people go only on the mobile, only on the fixed internet? Do they use both screens? That's the kind of questions also we can take with that, with this mobile efficiency panel. You can assess if your brand, if people use mobile when they use your brands, and what kind of incremental reach you get thanks to mobile. Let's have a concrete example. So we have here the heavy face care buyers. People, it's a cluster that we have identified thanks to a panel. And what is the behavior of those people? And we found out, thanks to our research, that they are massive, massive mobile users. So if you target those people with your products, you have all interest to use mobile marketing, mobile channel. If you have another one, if you have another products, another group, of course, we adapt the research. Mobile insights. So first we saw how should I plan my campaign. Now how should I plan my mobile campaign? If I use a metaphor on oil finding, it's the same. It's now, let's say you want to invest there, you want to invest in mobile, you need to dig very deep. And I will show you how deep we can dig that. Fasten your seatbelt and be ready to go deep down. So we have three big pillars on mobile insights: audience, sites, and device. What audience is using the mobile internet, what kind of sites they are visiting, and what device they use to do that. Sorry? Okay. 12 minutes? 20 minutes? Okay, so I'm almost done. I go fast on that. That's advertising for my product, but you were very nice to listen to me, so I will go directly to the use case. Use case, this nice lady wants to know who is visiting the site and competitor sites so that she can identify white spots. So that's a real example that I took from Munich on the 16th of April this year. And the question is, from which site do my visitors come from? So where do people visiting Spiegel online, where do they come from? And we found out that, of course, most of people come from Google, come from Facebook, Bild, and Google worldwide, and Wikipedia. But the point is that Bild is a competition. And we found out then that 3.1% of people opening Spiegel come directly from Bild.de. So I had last time I made a presentation, somebody from Axel Springer in the room, so I had a big pressure. But then we discussed, and the figures, he said it looks pretty okay. So out of the 3.1%, 12.8% use the Wi-Fi. Use the Wi-Fi, went to Bild.de, then to Spiegel Online. But then we want to know more about the 3.1%. The 3.1% that come from Bild.de and Spiegel. So those people are using Android. Those people are more maily. They have a middle income, and they are quite young. And very important, they use apps to access the mobile internet. Also, if you have an app strategy, if you want to go in this direction, you need to know this kind of information. Then, most important, Bild.de, Spiegel, what were they doing on Spiegel? What kind of categories were they visiting? We found out that on Bild.de, those people were visiting Wirtschaft, Kultur, Politik, Sport. And if we take the main one, 41% of people were visiting Bild.de Wirtschaft. We want to know more about those people visiting Bild.de Wirtschaft. We can go and dig further. So we see that those people are even more intensive Android users, 72%. They are richer than average Bild readers, and they are older and more male. Then that's the key, because of course you want to connect your brands with the customers, with purchase. So out of those people that have been visiting Bild.de Wirtschaft, 41%, out of those 41%, 14% put something on the basket of eBay or Amazon during the last 3 months, which means that those people are potential customers. Those people are already used to buy online. With those people, you can do something. And then out of those 14%, we want to know what are they doing, because those could be real targets. They are used to use mobile and to buy there. So what kind of site do they visit? No surprise, social network, online entertainment, publishing. 55%, 65% of those people visit regularly social networks. And then out of those 65%, we want to know exactly what kind of sites are they visiting. Again, no surprise, Facebook is very high in the ranking. But we see Contact here, for instance, that the Russian Facebook, 5% of those people that buy online visit Bild.de, they use Android apps, and could be potential customers for your brands are Russian speaking, because they visit these sites. So that gives you an information how deep we can go with the mobile insights. And that's for Munich on the 16th of April. Then this one I pass because we ran out of time and we have very nice speaker there. So we can check this one together after if you're interested in. So that's where we are up and running. Sorry. For Mobile Insights, it's up and running in UK and in Germany, and we have another project called Location Insights, focusing on location, geomarketing, that's up and running in the UK and in the US. And of course, we will deploy that in many countries in the year ahead. Many thanks for your attention.
So now we come to our second guest, which is Sunil Bar. Please welcome him. Sunil is digital strategist at Mindshare in Frankfurt, and he is coming from Mumbai, so you see we are really truly international in this panel here. And he started as an instructor for multimedia, so he is something who knows everything inside out. And he also started as a web designer. And yeah, that's interesting that somebody who is really a little bit more techie, then he moved further on and became a communication specialist. Yep. And for 14 years, he's now involved in digital communication, and he worked for very famous advertising giants like Y&R and Neil Burnett. And he was also with a company which is called Interactive Revo, Revolutionäre Communication, so you have to talk about this. And he has been done projects in Asia and the EU for brands like 7-Eleven, BASF, Castrol, DHL, and much, much, much. So it's very broad. Yep. So thank you for joining us here. So maybe you tell us a little bit about your company. What's the specialty of your company that you're working now?
Okay, I work for Mindshare Germany, and we are one of the biggest media agencies in Germany, and we are part of Group M, and together with Group M we are one of the largest media network in the world. And yeah, so with them I work as a digital strategist, and my job is to basically push innovation, media innovation in terms of mobile and social, and also at the same time make sure the teams are educated and are very tech savvy, and they have the right information so that they can influence the client's thinking and strategies.
Thank you. So whenever you have a question, please don't hesitate to give it to us. We are really happy, to get your question. So I would say I sit down now and we start our nice little discussion. Oops. Yeah, okay. First, I wanted to ask both of you, what's your favorite mobile marketing campaign, and explain us in a few words why.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, I have tons of them. But I think one of my favorite ones would be Coca-Cola from Hong Kong, called Chok Chok. And basically, what they did was they put out a TV ad, and they allowed people to catch Coca-Cola bottle caps on their mobile phone. So it worked exactly like how Shazam works. Only thing, it was not Shazam. They had a custom app. And so they made the people watch the TV ad, and with the phone, you have to do chok 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 chok, and the Coca-Cola caps get caught by the phone, and so basically you have to collect a certain number, and then you can redeem it for free Coca-Cola and merchandise. No? So and the people in Hong Kong went totally crazy about it, and they were actually sitting and waiting for the ad to come on TV till somebody discovered, hey, it works even through YouTube, and then everybody started playing it on YouTube, no? So that they could get free stuff from Coca-Cola. So I think that really shows that you can use mobile and classic media and really be innovative. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So what about you? Do you have one?
I mean, I belong to GfK, so I can't do direct marketing. I can't say I prefer Pepsi than Coca. It should be based on fact. But if I have to give my opinion, I liked one of McDonald's that was using in Sweden. I think they were using the device, and you could play, this ping pong video game, this very old ping pong. So you go on the square, and you have a huge screen, and you can connect with your mobile directly to this huge screen in the middle of the central square, and then you can play ping pong with somebody, you can challenge somebody, and everybody can see that, and you are remote controlling your participation with your mobile, and then the one winning, of course, got a voucher that he can redeem at McDonald's. Yep. So that's a nice way to engage people. But usually I'm most impressed by people making the right decision on the mix between mobile, TV, print. Yep. We are not all Facebook. We don't need to go all mobile or like Twitter. We don't need to go all mobile all the time.
So, but you tackle now the topic user behavior. Was there a change in user behavior in the last 2 or 3 years? Do you experience something here?
Yes, I would. Two big trends. Like, one is a second screen behavior, which means when you or your kids watch TV, you are using your tablets too. So that's a big trend. And if you are big companies, if you are Coca-Cola or Pepsi, where should you invest your money? In the tablets or on the TV? That's one of the big trends. And of course, the second trend is social media. That has a huge impact on brands, and it's very difficult to manage that and to assess that. And I heard the best sentence ever from a customer on social. He said, I don't share your brands or your brand because I like your brand. I share your brand because I like my friends. Mm. And I think that's extremely powerful. If some company can achieve that, it means they are really on the top of the recognition and the pleasure that they can give to their customers.
What's your view on the user behavior?
Well, mobile has become the remote of people's lives. So if you have to reach them, mobile is the way to go, because if you're trying to, because I've seen reports that are showing that mobile is outperforming desktop in terms of search and banner click-throughs, etc. So and so 60% of the time when people are on their mobile devices, they are actually searching for something. So you need to be omnipresent. So so you need to have an app. Your website needs to be mobile enabled. That means it needs to be responsive, so that it's future ready for any future devices that come in. And it's not what they call reactive. That means you get the desktop website on the tablet, but on the mobile you get a mobile website. No, that's not the right way of doing it, but that is the cheaper way of doing it. If you go the responsive way, it's more expensive. but your product, your website is future ready. So irrespective of tomorrow Apple comes up with a bigger iPhone or a Samsung comes up with a giant iPhone, giant phone which is this big, your website will resize to that, and the consumer will always get the information he or she wants.
But during our telephone talks, we talked before, both of you said that, yeah, in mobile marketing there are still many problems. So what do people wrong, or what do most marketers haven't quite figured out?
I mean, I will be very brief. It's like when you have to make decisions, should I invest on mobile marketing? Usually company plans their budgets on many different channels. And if they have money left, they invest on mobile, a bit like in casino. I have something left, let's try. I try around and I see what comes back. And it all comes down to the lack of measurement. So I believe when we have the right measurement, when we can say we have this number of people, male between 20 and 30, at that time using mobile, then you can monetize this spot, your media or your market spot.
Well, I think you need to have a progressive mindset. Just because mobile doesn't have the numbers that you are expecting, so you invest little money in it, is not the right way of going about it. You need to be progressive. I'll give you a very classic example that happened last month. We were watching TV at home, and there was an ad. I've noticed that on TV during prime time, 8 to 10, you get a lot of websites being advertised, especially on ProSieben, because that's what we usually watch. And there was an ad from Poco.de, which is the German competitor of IKEA. So my wife wanted to know, okay, what is the price of a kitchen in Poco.de, because we heard, oh, it's cheaper than IKEA, blah, blah, blah. So we had all the screens lying around. The laptop was there, the iPad was there, the mobile phones were also there. So I told my wife, okay, why don't you check out Poco.de on your mobile, because the tablet was a little there, so didn't want to get up, no? And we checked Poco.de, or Poco.com it was, yeah. We checked it on the mobile, and it was not optimized. It was you were advertising a website on TV, and obviously people are going to log on immediately to see it, and I get a desktop site on my mobile. So then I said, okay, forget Poco.de, tablet is too far, go to IKEA. And we immediately switched to IKEA, and IKEA was mobile optimized, and we could immediately see the pricing of the different kinds of kitchens they have.
Do you think that there are topics which are not worth mobilizing, or you think everything can be mobilized and should be mobilized?
Well, you have to first see you should be on mobile. So if you have a website, you should have it mobile optimized because people are going to come there. And there are already big websites like Time, Mashable, Sportschau, Tagesschau, who are already saying that 30 to 40% of the visitors are coming from mobile, and so they have made their websites responsive. So Tagesschau, Sportschau are two big German websites that I know of that are responsive. So they resize themselves to whichever screen. So you have to be progressive, you have to invest. You can't say, I will invest, in 2 years or 3 years when the numbers are higher, but then you will lose the customers like us, who are coming on the mobile and are not getting what we want. So we have to move to the desktop because it's not even optimized for tablet, because once we even tried to purchase an airline ticket on a mobile, we were using Kayak. We bought the app, the Pro app, and we wanted to book a ticket to India, and then when I said, okay, let's buy, it took me to the Turkish Airlines website, because that's what we wanted to go. We want to go via Istanbul, and then I had a mobile optimized website, so I couldn't purchase through the Kayak app, and supposedly I am supposed to be allowed to purchase on my mobile. So then I immediately went to the laptop and did it through that. So you lose customers like that. So then we didn't book through Kayak, then we booked it directly on the Turkish Airlines website.
Yeah, that's a big point. Like customers, they become smarter and smarter. So that's a big trend also. So really, you have to take that into consideration.
So as we have the chance here now with very international experts, do you see, and you are moving through all over the world, do you see differences in different cultures or countries, concerning the use of the mobile marketing campaigns or so? Do you see anything, or you say, oh, it's a global village, everything is the same?
So there is definitely a difference. Some countries are more open to mobile than others. In Germany, we are basically most of the time fighting about privacy. So, for example, people are not using Foursquare. Why? Because they don't want to show their location. Yeah, but there's a setting there where only your friends can see it. So you can use Foursquare. So when I came here, I checked in. First thing I did, I got out of the taxi, checked in on Foursquare, and there were only 4 people that had checked into this event. Mm-hmm. So that shows the acceptance, because people are scared to show their location.
Yes, it's clear. I think there is a mainstream, it's mobile. I challenge anybody to show me a report that doesn't predict exponential growth for mobile. So that's the mainstream. Then we have macroeconomic facts of the country, of course. But then many countries are leapfrogging, which means they go directly mobile. If you take Kazakhstan, for instance, or this kind of country, they go direct mobile. In Africa too, they are very creative and they go direct mobile. But at the end of the day, for your media, for your support, for your brand, it's all what brands do people let in? I mean, it's in other countries. You have 2.5 billion websites in the world, yes, but you watch 8 of them. When you go shopping, you have 200,000 items like that you buy a year on average. But you buy what? Like 10,000 a year? Not more. So which brands do you let in? On the TV, it's exactly the same. At home, all of you have 120 channels minimum. But you watch what? 12 of them. So it's exactly the same for mobiles. Which brands do you let in? Because it's very intimate. And of course, apps is a perfect way to get in, to get personal in any countries. So then you have to adapt, of course, to the culture. Asia, India is not the same. But which brands do you let in? That's the key question for your brands, for your media.
So, what do you think are the most advanced countries concerning mobile marketing? Where do we, as people who want to do this, check what comes up? What would you say?
There's no one country that really comes to my mind. When I look mobile, I look everywhere. So I get great mobile content coming from Israel, great stuff coming from Brazil in terms of mobile being used in retail, great examples coming in from Korea. So you can't say there's one country that stands out. You have to monitor what is happening there. So you need to have your set of websites which are pushing out this kind of information, and you need to follow them religiously. And I'm always reading. Now I'll go to the airport and I will be on my phone. I'll be catching up on all that I've missed during the day, and all this just comes in the news feed. So you have to create your own news feed and just follow, because there is no one place that will for surely give you everything you need to know. You have to go after 200, 300 websites, because that's what I do. So I'm following 200-300 websites a day, and that's how I have these examples, because I know what is happening exactly when it breaks in Korea, or when it breaks in Israel, or when it breaks in Canada. I know what's happening exactly at that point.
You have to do it yourself. There's no database that you enter with good ideas.
Like this database that what I'm talking about, this 200-300 websites that I'm following, it has taken me 3 years to put it together. So you have to do it yourself. There's no one source where you can get everything.
Or you have to ask Sunil.
Call me.
That's the other possibility. So are there any questions of you?
I am Raphael from TICAS. I am more in the broadcast world. I have something I don't understand. Do you consider the panel the mobile as a way to measure the impact of a marketing campaign, or a vector to deliver a marketing campaign?
No, it's definitely a way to market, like your product. Like for mobile internet, to measure it's what you have to do if you want it to make it efficient. But if you take the example of even Amazon, now they try to become a marketing channel, which means they want to do advertise. They want to become an advertising channel, which means if you have a brand, you can put it on Amazon, and it will be like Facebook or like the site Bild or Spiegel. So that's what they want to do. So it's a way for brands. You use mobile to better market your product. But then the point is, if you can't measure it precisely, then people won't invest and won't see the potential that is behind.
Okay, I understand that it is a good method to measure an audience. Do you trust really that people will accept to pay very high level of price a terminal, then to pay to access the network, then to run some application, which, and if you run an application, it's because you have a specific needs, you know, you want to be informed, you need to know the price of some things, or you know the characteristic of some product and so on. Do you think that the public will accept to have paid all this amount of money and to have to also to spend time watching advertisement?
Yes, I mean that's a question for operators. Are they ready to cut price to have more people using the service? Not for me. But what I can take is that on the trust. If consumer trusts the brand, then they will use it. I can give you an example from UK. There is a tourism site that when you look for a travel in Germany or whatever in UK in Asia, you look for your travel. You get a list of price and of proposals. Then when you select your trip, this site will benchmark automatically with other sites. And then you can have, look, that's the price for my trip. It costs £1,000 or €1,000. On the other website, it costs 950. So they are not afraid to say that on the other side is cheaper. And this way, they create trust. And then people come back to this site because they say they are very fair with me. They were mentioning that another site has something cheaper. I trust them, and I come back. I become faithful. So that's what we evoked when we spoke about smarter consumers, like Sunil and your family when you're home with your tablets. So on one hand, people will be ready, yes, to use more and more if they feel the trust and if they feel that it's convenient. It's also a full process, you know. If you buy a trip or a car, you browse online when you're in your car through the mobile, but the final purchase you do home because you need your wife, your kids to make decisions. So it's a full journey. Mobile is a part of the journey, but at the end of the day, you need to market your products or you need to propose your media to the audience.
One last question. I think we can take one last. Yeah.
To me, this is particularly if you in the agency world have seen a brand funnel concept before mobile and now with mobile. I'm particularly interested if you've seen solid data on how leakages actually could be reduced in the brand funnel concept.
I'll give you a nice example about a recent campaign that we just did for Ben & Jerry's. So it was a location-based campaign. So what Ben & Jerry's did a tour of Germany. So they sent a little, like a bus, like an ice cream bus around Germany. And so we did this campaign with Telefonica where we sent out MMSs just 2 days before, informing people that this bus is going to be near their location. And then on the day of the bus, we sent another message saying, okay, the bus is there, so you should go and have the ice cream. So the results were amazing. They had lots of people going in for the ice cream. There was when we checked on the results, it showed that 70% of the people had seen it and could recall the ad. And and that goes exactly in the direction of what even Google has shown in their reports from Mobile Planet, which says that 76% of the people generally tend to see messaging on their mobile. So if you're using mobile to reach out to your customer, then yes, mobile is a very important channel in your media mix. So you should definitely consider it.
You just said a very important thing, location-based.
Yeah.
It has to be location-based.
It can be location-based is one way. Another way is this new, there's NFC, there's also something new which is coming up called Beacon. So basically it's a small device that you put and it sets up a 50 meter perimeter around your location, and you can, the moment the customer walks in, you can push out a message to him. So that's one way of doing it as well, and that is not exactly location based, but it uses location as well, and the customer doesn't even need to take his phone out. The phone can vibrate. That means he's got a message. Then when he takes it out, he can read it, or if he's in the shop and he's ready to pay, all he needs to say is, yes, I want to pay, and then the cashier already knows that it's me because my phone is already talking to his machine, and I can pay without even taking out my credit card or cash. So technology is an enabler. You need to see how it fits your needs, and then take it forward. You don't have to forcefully fit it into your mix.
I think that's really a thing that you could see the last 3 or 4 years. Before then, you could get some information or win something, but now, they really use the possibilities and the features of the phones. Yep. That's what I think is really important to see. Well, he already said what he sees in the future. What do you see in the future?
What do I see in the future? One thing is the sensors. One will use sensors more. We are already seeing that trend happening in different countries. UK is one of them, where you get where the ads are served based on what is happening in the environment. So if the temperature goes up, then you get an ad for iced coffee, for example. So it is going to be sensor based. It's a matter of time before publishers start figuring out how to use the sensors in the phone. Like, one of the questions I asked my team recently was, I want to do advertising. I want to serve an ad when the person has just finished jogging, and I want to serve, say, an ad from a juice company or from a coffee company which is nearby, because he will stop running, he'll be thirsty, he will want to drink something, but he needs a reminder on his phone, that this coffee shop is nearby, so go there and grab some water or something cold to drink. And the answer my team gave me was, theoretically it's possible, because the Nike Plus app that you showed, they recently pushed out a new update as of yesterday, which pauses the app. So the moment you stop running, the app pauses. So it knows that you have stopped jogging. So what if I've stopped jogging? So the phone knows that I was running. So I've stopped running. I go on Google or some website, and I'm searching, and I get an ad out there which is saying, hey, there's a coffee shop here nearby. Why don't you visit us for
What your phone reminds me, take a shower and go have a drink.
Yeah. So using all these kinds of technologies, so the sensor in the phone. So theoretically it's possible, but nobody has implemented it as of now. But it will come. It has to come.
So our time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, Guillaume.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for listening to our little discussion. Thank you.